Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start with a new chapter of Human Physiology of class 11th. The name of the chapter is Breathing and Exchange of Gases. The main objectives that we will cover today includes difference between breathing and respiration. We will discuss about the types of respiration and the phases of respiration, respiratory organs in animals and human respiratory system. Breathing and respiration. All living organisms require energy to carry out various activities. The food materials, especially carbohydrates and fats, which are ingested, are to be oxidized to release energy contained in their molecules. This energy is subsequently utilized for mechanical, biophysical, and various anabolic processes by the organism. The process by which foodstuffs are oxidized in cells to release their bond energy for utilization in the body is known as respiration. Respiration is a catabolic process where stepwise degradation of organic foodstuff takes place. The energy released in this process is temporarily stored in the form of ATP and is utilized whenever needed by the organism. The air that we inhale brings oxygen to the lungs and is carried by blood to the cells, where it helps in breakdown of glucose, which results in the generation of energy. This energy is utilized by the cells to carry out their respective functions. That process is cellular respiration, and this process where oxygen is inhaled in and carbon dioxide is exhaled out is called as breathing. Both these two terms, cellular respiration and breathing, are the defining characteristics of living organisms. However, these terms are not synonymous and there are significant differences between the two, as we people have discussed now. Breathing is a continuous process that involves both exhalation as well as inhalation, whereas respiration is a process of oxidation of food to release energy. Breathing is a physical process, whereas respiration is a biochemical process as it involves breakdown of bond between the molecules. Breathing is a part of respiration. Respiration involves oxidation of food to release energy. Kinds of respiration. Respiration is of two types, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is the oxidation of food which occurs in the presence of molecular oxygen. Here, oxygen completely oxidizes the food to carbon dioxide and water, releasing large amount of energy. You can see here one molecule of glucose is completely oxidized to release 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water, along with a huge amount of energy that is approximately equals to 2830 kilojoules of energy. This energy is completely stored in the form of ATPs. Approximately 38 ATPs are released in aerobic respiration. The organisms showing aerobic respiration are called aerobes. It is found in most animals and plants. Aerobic respiration is further of two types, direct and indirect. Direct respiration is the exchange of environmental oxygen with carbon dioxide of the body cells without involvement of any special respiratory organs and without the aid of blood. It is found in aerobic bacteria, protists, some of the plants, sponges, coelentrates, flatworms, roundworms, and most of the arthropods. Indirect respiration is the oxidation of food which involves special respiratory organs such as skin, buccopharyngeal lining, gills, and lungs and needs the help of blood. Here, respiration is further divided into various types on the basis of respiratory organs. Like cutaneous respiration is the respiration where exchange of gas takes place on skin or body surface. It takes place in annelids, some of the crustaceans, eelfish, amphibians, and marine snakes. It occurs both in water and in air. Buccopharyngeal respiration. It is found in most of the amphibians such as frogs and toads, and it involves buccopharynx as a respiratory organ. Next is bronchial respiration. It is found in many annelids, most crustaceans and mollusks, some insect larvae, echinoderms, all fishes and some amphibians. It occurs in water only. Next is pulmonary respiration. Pulmonary word stands for lungs. So it is found in snails, pila, some amphibians and reptiles, birds and mammals. It takes place in air only and it involves lungs as the respiratory organ. Now, the next is anaerobic respiration, which is the oxidation of food in the absence of molecular oxygen. It is also called as fermentation. In this, food is partially oxidized. As a result, some of the energy remains bound in the bonds of unbroken products, and rest of the energy, only 5% of the energy, is released in the form of ATPs. In anaerobic respiration, only 2 ATPs are released. It is found in lower organisms like bacteria, yeast, etc. And it's also found in some of the parasitic worms like Ascaris taenia, which lives in oxygen deficit medium. It also occurs in higher organisms in oxygen deficit conditions. Phases of respiration. Respiration is basically oxidation of food to release energy. But for this oxidation of food, oxygen is required. This oxygen is inhaled into the body through respiratory organ and it's taken to various cells of the body through blood. So, respiration is the involuntary catabolic process which involves exchange of environmental oxygen and body's carbon dioxide. Here, the oxygen is utilized for oxidation of food or glucose in the mitochondria to produce energy, and it takes place in three basic steps. Pulmonary ventilation. It is also called as breathing. This is the first step or process in which oxygen is breathed in and carbon dioxide is breathed out of the body. Both these processes are called inspiration and expiration of air that takes place between atmosphere and lungs. The next step is external or pulmonary respiration. Here pulmonary word is there, that means it takes place at the surface of lungs. So external respiration is basically the exchange of gases that takes place at the surface of lungs or at the surface of alveoli of lung. This exchange involves intake of oxygen into the blood and release of carbon dioxide from the blood. Now, the next is internal or tissue respiration. Here, the exchange of gases takes place between body tissue and blood. The blood loses oxygen and gains carbon dioxide within cells. The metabolic reaction that consumes oxygen and gives off carbon dioxide during production of ATP, that is basically the oxidation of food that takes place inside the mitochondria to release ATP, is termed as cellular respiration. Different organisms lives in different environments, so they need different kind of respiratory organs. So let's discuss various respiratory organs in animals. For efficient gas exchange, the respiratory membrane through which exchange of gases takes place should have following qualities. It should be thin, large and moist so that there is easy exchange of gases. It should be completely permeable for oxygen and carbon dioxide. It should have high vascularity. More is the supply of blood towards this membrane, more will be the exchange of gases. Its surface area should be very large. That is also to increase the exchange of gases. Presence of respiratory pigment like hemoglobin is present in case of mammals like in humans. It is to increase the oxygen and carbon dioxide carrying capacity of the blood. Plasma membrane. Plasma membrane can act as a respiratory membrane in single-celled organisms where exchange of gases directly occurs across their cell membrane by the simple process of diffusion. The body surface or skin. Flatworms, annelids, earthworms, they use their outer surface as gas exchange surfaces or respiratory organs. A dense network of capillaries lies just below the skin, facilitating gas exchange between the external environment and the circulatory system. The respiratory surface must be kept moist in order for the gases to dissolve and diffuse across the cell membrane. Organisms that live in water also need a way to obtain oxygen. Oxygen diffuses in water but at a low concentration in comparison to atmosphere, which are roughly 21% oxygen. Fish and many other aquatic animals have evolved gills to take up the dissolved oxygen from the water. Gills are thin tissue filaments that are highly branched and folded. When water passes over the gills, the dissolved oxygen in the water rapidly diffuses across the gills into the bloodstream. The circulatory system can then carry the oxygenated blood to the other parts of the body. In animals that contain coelomic fluid, instead of blood, oxygen diffuses across the gill surfaces into the coelomic fluid. Gills are found in mollusks, annelids, crustaceans, etc. The folded surfaces of the gills provides a large surface area to ensure that fish obtain sufficient oxygen. Diffusion is a process in which material travels from the region of high concentration to the region of low concentration until equilibrium is reached. In this case, blood with low concentration of oxygen molecule circulates through the gills. The concentration of the oxygen molecule in water is higher than the concentration of oxygen molecule in the gills. As a result, oxygen molecule diffuses from water to the blood. Similarly, carbon dioxide molecules diffuses from the blood to the water. The next is tracheal system. Insect respiration is independent of its circulatory system. Therefore, the blood does not play a direct role in oxygen transport. Insects have a highly specialized type of respiratory system called a tracheal system, which consists of a network of small tubules that carries oxygen to the entire body. The tracheal system, the most direct and efficient respiratory system, is active animals has tubes made up of polymeric material called chitin. Insect bodies have openings called spiracles along the thorax and abdomen. These openings connect the tubular network, allowing oxygen to pass into the body, regulating the diffusion of carbon dioxide and water vapor. Air enters and leaves the tracheal system through these spiracles. Some insects can ventilate the tracheal system with body movement. Book lungs and book gills. Book lungs are not related to the lungs of modern land dwelling vertebrates. Their name describes their structure and purpose. Stacks of alternating air pockets and tissue filled with hemolymph give them an appearance similar to a folded book. Their number varies from just one pair in most of the spiders to four pairs in scorpions. The unfolded pages or plates of the book lungs are filled with hemolymph. The fold maximize the surface area exposed to air and thereby maximize the amount of gas exchange with the environment. It is believed that book lungs evolved from book gills. Although they have a similar book like structure, book gills are external, while book lungs are internal. Both are considered appendages because book lungs develop from limb buds before the buds flatten into segmented lamellae. Book gills are still present in the marine arthropods Limulus, which have five pair of them, the flap in front of them being the genital operculum which lacks gills. Book gills are flap-like appendages that affects gas exchange within water and seems to have their origin as modified legs. Lungs. Lungs are ingrowth of the body wall and connects to the outside by a series of tubes and small openings. The lungs are dark red colored, spongy bag like structures with smooth shining surface marked out into numerous polyhedral areas. Lungs breathing probably evolved about 400 million years ago. Lungs are not entirely the sole property of vertebrates. Some terrestrial snails have a gas exchange structure similar to those of frogs. Gaseous exchange in earthworms. Earthworms do not have specialized respiratory organ like we do have. Instead, they take in oxygen and expel carbon dioxide directly through their skin surface. Oxygen diffuses through the earthworm's body surface and diffuses inward to the network of capillaries lying just under the body surface. The oxygen is consumed by body cells as the blood, specifically the hemoglobin within the red blood cells, circulates. In contrast, carbon dioxide is picked up by the blood and diffuses out into the air through body surface. Respiratory system in humans. All the organs in an animal that provide free oxygen and help in the removal of carbon dioxide collectively constitutes the respiratory system. When the respiratory organs are lung, it is called as pulmonary respiration. Due to high metabolic rate, mammals have a more extensive and complex respiratory system, and in man, pulmonary respiration is present. The respiratory system in man and other animals having pulmonary respiration can be studied in two parts. The first one is respiratory tract or the conducting portion, and the second one is respiratory organ or the respiratory portion. Respiratory tract or conducting portion is the path through which oxygen reaches up to the lungs and carbon dioxide is removed from the lungs. In man, it consists of nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, and bronchi. The respiratory tract starts as a pair of nostrils present at the lower end of nose. Nostrils or external nares. Nostrils are a pair of slits at the lower end of the nose just above the mouth. They are the openings of nasal cavities. Nasal cavity. Nasal cavities are a pair of chambers present just above the palate. They are separated from each other by a median partition called nasal septum. The nasal cavity is further divided into following three regions. The first one is vestibular region. It is a smaller anterior part of the cavity that lies just within the nostrils. It is lined by skin which is in continuity with the skin of exterior of the nose. It contains hair and sebaceous glands. The hair acts as strainers. They filter the air and do not allow the dust and other large particles to enter the respiratory tract. Alternative path to the nose is mouth for the air, but nose breathing is much better than mouth breathing, as the hair present in the nose do not allow dust particles and other large particles to enter the lungs. The mucus of the internal lining of nose sterilizes the air by trapping bacteria and other pathogens. Mucous membrane also helps in moisturizing and warming of air by radiating heat. In the nose is present olfactory epithelium which is sensory to smell. Respiratory region is the middle part of the nasal cavity that is lined by a glandular respiratory epithelium. The respiratory epithelium is a pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium which is rich in mucus and serous cells. The mucus cells secrete a viscous fluid called mucus and the serous cells produce a watery fluid. The respiratory epithelium is highly vascular and appears pink or reddish in color. It acts as air conditioner. The air passing through it becomes moist and warm and filtered. The next one is olfactory region. It is the upper posterior part of the nasal chamber. It is lined by highly sensory olfactory epithelium which helps in detecting the odor of the inspired air. If the odor is offensive, the air is not allowed to pass in. Thus, it helps in selecting the air for inspiration. Nasal chamber opens behind into the nasopharynx by internal nostrils. Nasopharynx is situated at the base of skull just behind the nasal cavity. It is continuous with oral pharynx, that is coming from mouth region. It bears the opening of eustachian tubes in its lateral wall by which it is connected to middle ear. The oral pharynx is the lower part of pharynx and it leads to two tubes, one in the front, that is trachea or windpipe, that is also called as glottis, and other at the back, which is called as oesophagus or food. The glottis is guarded by a flap like epiglottis that does not allow anything other than air to enter the larynx. The oesophagus or food pipe remains partially closed because of the longitudinal foldings in its internal lining. It is generally advised by doctor not to talk while eating, because if we will talk while eating, the epiglottis may get aside and food may enter the windpipe, which may cause choking and death. Next to the pharynx is larynx. It is the upper slightly swollen part of trachea or windpipe. It is more prominent in men as compared to women and is called Adam's apple. It is always kept stretched and its wall is supported by cartilage. In the larynx is present a pair of vocal cords which helps in the production of sound. Hence, it is also called as voice box. During swallowing of food or liquid, the larynx moves upward so that its opening called glottis is closed by epiglottis and food does not enter the larynx. The internal lining of larynx contains cilia which acts as strainers. They do not allow the dust particles to enter into the lungs. The trachea or windpipe is a long narrow whitish tube that extends through the neck. It enters the thorax where it divides into a pair of branches called primary bronchi. The wall of trachea are supported by C-shaped cartilaginous rings that keeps it always distended. It is lined internally by ciliated epithelium that also filters the air that passes into the lungs. Within the thoracic cavity, at the level of fourth or fifth thoracic vertebrae, trachea bifurcates into two primary bronchi. Each bronchus enters the lungs of its own side. After entering into the lungs, the primary bronchus divides repeatedly into smaller secondary and tertiary bronchi, which further divides into still smaller bronchioles. The terminal bronchioles divides into still finer branches known as alveolar ducts. The alveolar duct have thin non-ciliated epithelium. Each alveolar duct ends in a passage called atrium, which leads into a number of rounded alveolar sacs. Each alveolar sac is studded with a large number of alveoli. Alveoli are blind air sacs with extremely thin walls, made up of elastic connective tissue fibers surrounded by a fine network of capillaries from the pulmonary vein and arteries. The pulmonary artery that carries deoxygenated blood to lungs divides and redivides, forming a network of capillaries around each alveolus. Exchange of gases takes place between alveoli and the blood. The oxygenated blood is returned to the left auricle by the pulmonary veins. The respiratory organs in man are a pair of lungs known as left and right lungs. These are thin walled, elastic, spongy, pinkish, triangular, and highly distensible structure. The lungs occupy the most of the thoracic cavity and are well protected by a bony thoracic cage. Each lung is enclosed by a double walled pleural sac. The inner membrane is called visceral layer and the outer as parietal layer of pleural sac. In between the two layers is present a space called pleural cavity full of a fluid called pleural fluid. The pleural fluid is secreted by the pleural sac and it performs various functions like it protects the lungs from any kind of mechanical injury and shock. It lubricates the lungs for free expansion and relaxation. It also keeps the lungs moist for proper functioning. Each lung is a conical triangular structure. The upper pointed side is called apex and the lower broad side is called the base. The left lung is slightly smaller than that of right lung due to the presence of cardiac notch. The left lung is differentiated into two lobes, whereas the right lung is differentiated into three lobes with the help of furrows. With this, we are done with the topic of human respiratory system. Thank you everyone.